Good morning. I'm Grandpa from Grandpa Shine's Celtic Whiskey. And today we're going to work up this, for lack of a better word, kind of an Irish bourbon. It's, I tried to make some, you've seen the other 3 videos on making this stuff. And so finally we get down to after it's aged, the wood's still in here. Need to filter it out, proof it down, and bottle it up. Because it's getting close to Christmas time, we might make a few Christmas presents out of it. So with that in mind, bear with me. I'm gonna go get some more stuff that I need, and we'll get this going. Okay? Hang on. Okay, here we go. It's a kind of a cloudy, misty, a little foggy today, and so colors, well, other than this thing, they're a little subdued, but it's really hard, probably really hard to see what we got here. Some wood chunks laying on the bottom, some wood chunks kind of halfway floating. I'll show you those here in a minute. We're going to filter it because the wood, it's charred, so you're going to get little pieces of charcoal floating around in it, and we don't need that. So I just use a funnel and a coffee filter to filter all the pieces out. And believe it or not, these coffee filters take a lot of it out. It's real fine paper, and actually I'll have to change out the filters several times because they plug up. So we'll get the first one going here to show you what we got, and get this set the way I want it. All right, there you go. I don't know if you see it or not, but we're filtering it out. And once it's all filtered, I'll come back to you. Okay, I wanted you guys to see. There's the wood and a little bit left down in there. A lot of little pieces of charcoal and wood and whatnot. But if you look at my filter, you can see, and basically I have to change the filter with every fill. So, because otherwise it just plugs up. Here's all my filters that I took out or used. So, got a little dab left here to do, and then we will clean up my jar here and start proofing this stuff down. Okay, so we got it all filtered out. Now we need to see where we're at proof wise, so we can start adding water to bring it down to a drinkable level. So in order to do that, we need to know where we're starting at. So I've got my little alchemy hydrometer thing that'll tell us our starting point. Yeah, we're gonna make it. Okay. So that scale, we're reading to 109 proof, something like that. I'm seeing probably 54% alcohol. And there again, I'm sure there's a formula for figuring this stuff out. Why bother? Just we'll just add and test, add and test, add and test. Got my gallon jar cleaned out, and we'll put it back in there and start adding water and testing until we get it down to where we want it. So I'd like to have it somewhere between 40 and 45% alcohol, or 80 and 90 proof, right in there. So when I get down to it, we'll be back. So I added, let's see here, what was it? It was 20 ounces, or 2.5 cups, or it was, I believe it was just over 600 milliliters, something like that. So and that brought us down right where I wanted to be. According to this right here, we are at, excuse me, about 42, 43% alcohol, which is going to be about 85 proof, and that's right where I wanted to be. So we'll stuff her in the bottles and go from there. So we got it proof down in the bottles. One full bottle, one, not quite half full. So that's not bad considering. So I'll take this stuff. I'll probably take this one here and fill a couple of pint jars and give that away. Probably do some of that with this too. So basically we're good, other than I think I'll take it and set it in the window for a few days, and before I start doling it out, and let it cure that way a little bit. But basically that's the end of making my Irish whiskey. Probably a better name, a better term for it would be Irish Bourbon, because it's more of a bourbon than a whiskey, because it has so much corn and oatmeal and stuff like that in it. But the oatmeal, I tried to give it a little bit of that Irish flavor, if you will. But I think it turned out pretty good. Haven't really tasted it yet since I proofed it down, so kind of our next step. So in fact, well, that's a little big to test. Let me get a smaller glass. I've got a proper whiskey glass, and we'll see if this stuff is any good. I'm just gonna have a little taste of it because it is still before noon. So all I want to do is see. We've got a good whiskey nose to it. Kind of like my regular Celtic whiskey. Not the peat though that I do my Celtic whiskey. This is mainly just vanilla, just straight up vanilla. I don't know. There's some other things in there, but not. Okay. Get a vanilla up front, a little pepper in the middle, Very smooth though, very smooth. Very little pepper, really. Just I'm trying to taste that, explain that last flavor at the end. Almost a sweet, almost maybe a little cinnamony or cherry, because I did have cherry wood in there, and that does give off a little bit of a tart cherry, but no, this is very drinkable. Yeah, I think we'll enjoy that, and I think you will too if you manage to get some of it. I do have supplies for a few more batches of it. We'll just have to wait and see. Although I am getting low on my Celtic whiskey, my Scotch style whiskey. I need to make some more of that, so I think I'll do that first. Make some more Scotch, Celtic whiskey, and then go back to making some Irish and other things. Experiment, play around with it a little bit. So I hope you enjoyed this little video series, and like I say, if you get a chance to taste my whiskey, I hope you enjoy it too. Shalom Sarah.